I'm a picture book author, a published picture book author, which is very exciting. And I also co-host the podcast You May Contribute a Verse with Josh Munkin, who wasn't able to come. He's on a work meeting. But anyways, I would love to read my book to you today. So this is The Law of Birthdays, written by me and illustrated by Maria Kondra, who did an amazing job. I love how colorful it is. She is brilliant. Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Guards, it's time. By royal decree, in accordance with the law of birthdays, it's time to cake the children. Cake for you, thanks. For you, my favorite. And for you, no thanks. What? But eating birthday cake is the law. The law of what? Birthdays. Seriously? The king's not gonna like this. Well, I'm not telling him. Maybe she'll come around. I like French fries. You eat those for lunch, not birthdays. The law of birthdays clearly states kids attending birthday parties must have cake. But I don't want cake. Even with extra frosting? No thanks. Sprinkles? No. Oh, would you at least pretend to eat it? Fine, you give me no choice. Is it time for presents already? No, not exactly. There's an issue. What could be important enough to interrupt cake? This girl, she says she doesn't want cake. You mean she doesn't want more cake? No, Your Highness, she doesn't want any cake at all. No cake, or frosting, or sprinkles, not even a crumb. What a ridiculous misunderstanding. This is clearly a child, and this is clearly a birthday. My birthday. Guards, cake this girl and send her on her way. There's no misunderstanding. I don't want any cake. I don't understand the words coming out of your mouth. How could you not want cake? Well, to begin with, I'm vegan. I don't eat animal products. I'm told there are alternatives. Something called a flax egg. I'm full. There's always room for cake. I can't handle that much sugar.
There's always room for cake.
A fine handle. Say I eat a big fat frosting covered piece. I'm listening. I'd be filled with energy. I'd start bouncing all over. I'd bounce right into the ceiling and knock the lights down. Then there'd be no electricity in the whole kingdom. We'd eat cake in the dark. Tell me, is the royal oven electric? Yes. So at least we'd have cake. That's my favorite spread. How about this? What if the law of birthday said no one was allowed cake? Except me, of course. Especially not you. You have to set an example. But I love cake. The law of birthday says no cake. I'll just eat the frosting and sprinkles. Sorry. What if I'm hungry? If there's room for cake, there's room for dinner. But I want cake. Well, according to the law, you'll just have to go without. But I don't want to go without cake. Why not? Because I love cake. And as the king, I should have a choice. Exactly. That's what I want. Choice. So you're saying everyone should have a choice? Yep, everyone. Even if you're not royal and important like me, especially if we're not you. After all, there's more of us than you. We're important too. And I love this part where he's being sent out the window by a bunch of balloons. Total mutiny. Hear ye, hear ye. The law of birthdays now states if you're old enough to have a birthday, you're old enough to have a choice. Cake for you? Yay! Don't worry, miss, no cake for you. Actually, I've changed my mind. I'd love a piece. Vegan if you have it. You can do that? You can always change your mind. And that's the law of birthdays.
Yay! I see everyone applauding, everyone excited on the chat. Thank you so much. That's such a lovely story about choice. So fun. Brenna, what was your inspiration?
Let's see. It was partly my kid, who is a very picky eater and loves to have a choice about what he eats. Partly myself, because I also don't really like cake. I would rather have the French fries, honestly, if we're being honest. And also I feel like there's a lot in the air lately about choice and who gets a choice and who doesn't get a choice. And it was very much informed by the fact that I feel like everybody across the board should have a choice about what they do with their bodies, what they do with their food, what they put into their bodies. And so, autonomy really is huge. And so I wanted to pass that down to kids and make sure that from a young age, they knew they could say no, they could choose.
So important. Thank you for sharing that. John Seymour is asking, what was the hardest part about developing the story?
Ooh, hi, John. Thank you for coming. Let's see. Okay, the hardest part was, I think the hardest part was thinking like, okay, this is like a really big topic, like a really big, important, complex topic. How do I distill it into a kid-friendly book? And my first thought was, okay, what do most kids like? And I first was like ice cream, and then I was like cake, and then I was like, well, everybody has a birthday. So like if you have a birthday, then this book is for you. So yeah, so that was the hardest part, is trying to figure out, like sort of the vehicle for the concept. So once I figured out that it was going to be cake, it sort of like went from there. It was a lot easier to write. Yeah.
And going along that line, how was it working with and partnering with your illustrator to transmit that emotions that you had in mind?
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, Marina is amazing. And Cardinal Rule Press is also amazing because they very much included me in the illustration process, which doesn't always happen as an author. I was delighted when they were like, "Hey, check these out. Like, what do you think? What do you think of the color palette? Or like, do you have character descriptions? Like, what should the king look like?" And so the little girl is very much like what I had in my brain. Exactly. Big bright hair, very like determined and stubborn and like not gonna take no for an answer. Like she really is just like, no, I don't want your cake. Like, why aren't you getting this? And the color palette also, like big, bright, like fun colors. Like I loved that. So it was very cool that I was a part of that, and Marina just like knocked it out of the park. Like it's exactly what I saw in my brain.
You're getting tons of love, and something that a lot of people are pointing out, it's such an important message, but it's wrapped in fun. What advice would you have for children's about choice, about the importance?
Um, well, I think speaking up for yourself and being able to say in a kind way, whether or not you like something or want something is really important. My kid just turned 7, and so that's like like a hallmark in my house right now. Like, okay, you can tell me no, you could say you don't like this, but like please speak kindly, like show me a little bit of respect, say please and thank you. And I'm like, generally speaking, if you tell me you don't want something, but you say it in a kind way, like, I would love to make sure that you get something different, or that we, give you a choice, or, I'm much more likely to want to accommodate as opposed to being yelled at. So, and I think that's for kids too, right? Like he doesn't want to do stuff if I'm just like, you have to like put on your shoes and your pants right now, because pants is another problem in our house right now. So like pants is a real problem. And he doesn't appreciate when I just like tell him he has to. But if I give him a choice, I'm like, hey, 5 more minutes, and then you have to put pants on, or I say it kindly, we're much more likely to have a harmonious household. So I think it goes both ways.
That's great. If anyone else has more questions for Brenna, please type them in the chat. Um, I will read it for you. Brenna, since again you're a first-time author, how are you feeling today with this amazing launch?
I feel very excited. I've told my husband several times today that I'm a published author, and he is very graciously like, I know, congratulations, every time. And I also did a mini reading at my son's forest school earlier this morning, and we made cupcakes with fondant French fries coming out of the top, which was amazing. So it's been really fun, and just yeah, it's been not as stressful as I thought it was going to be. It's just like a lot of love coming in, which is like so nice. And again, like thank you everybody for coming. It means everything that set aside some time in your day to spend this with me. So thank you.
Jolene is asking, I love your main character's confidence. Do you plan to feature her in any other future story?
Hi, Jolene. Thank you for coming. Um, Man, you know what? I would love to. I've been asked this before, and I would love to write her more stories in this kingdom because she is so she just is, yeah, she's very determined in what she wants, and I think she's a great main character, and the king was like the perfect foil. So yeah, I mean, Maria, if you're listening, Adam, I would love to do a sequel, another story with this girl. Just putting it out into the universe. Yeah, no, I would love that. I think she's amazing, and I could write endless stories for her because she is a little bit like me when I was a kid, very stubborn and very much just like, no, I'm not doing that. So anyways, yeah.
Rachel is asking, do you have any other books in the process or projects you're working on?
Oh my gosh, I love this question. Yes, I have tons. I feel like I am constantly writing and like sending my critique group stuff. I have a couple of middle grades that I'm finishing up. I have a YA novel in verse. I have a couple of graphic novels. I have a couple of nonfiction books. I have a really fun Halloween sort of based one with foods that I recently sent to my critique group. Becky knows which one I'm talking about. And that one's really fun, so I'm excited about that. Yes, I feel like I always have a million going on just because it keeps me busy and occupied and excited. So yeah, I read a lot.
Sounds so fun. Um, I hope I'm pronouncing right. Jillian is asking, what are your plans for lunch week?
Oh, well, this is the main event for launch week, but I do have a couple of like readings coming up at our local library, one in Longmont. I have another reading in June at the Barnes and Noble bookstore in Boulder. And so those are sort of like sprinkled in. And then tonight I'm celebrating with a massage and a nap because because I am tired. And it was amazing and I love good massage. So
That sounds like a great ending. A third grader would like to know, how long did it take to make this book?
Oh, I love that question. Thank you for asking, and thank you for coming. Let's see. So it took me a couple of months to get it to a good like polished place where I wanted to send it to my agent. And then maybe another couple of months of us back and forth after that. And then we sent it to Cardinal Rule. And then because Cardinal Rule really expedites their publishing, they only publish 4 to 6 books a year. It came out within a year and a half after the sale. So this one was actually really quick in publishing standards. I know that feels like a long time, especially when you're in third grade. You're like, really? But yeah, it was actually pretty quick. So
Yes. Okay. So if anyone else has any more questions, please send it. We'll be wrapping up. But Brenna, thank you so much for today. It's such an exciting day. Today here at Cardinal Rule Press, we're all excited with this celebration. You will hear from us on the email. Brenna, before we go, do you have anything else? Would you like to add?
just again, thank you for coming. It means everything that you guys were willing to show up, and I appreciate everybody's support and like all the love coming in over the internet from Twitter and Instagram and my critique groups and personal texts, and just yeah, thank you. I hope that you guys like the book and share the book, and it makes a difference in people's lives.
Awesome. Well, I would love to ask everyone to go into Goodreads now that you've read the book, have heard the book. Go to Amazon and leave a review. So that way we can still support the book launch and Brenna on this amazing day. So everyone sends you a lot of love in the chat. Everyone's excited. Thank you everyone for joining us. Have a great day and happy beloved birthdays.
Okay, bye everybody. Thank
Bye.
you.